Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to check out a band that we've never done on the channel before. It's not a Patreon request, not a request from a viewer. Actually, we've had a couple of viewers requesting this band, but not this specific video. But Patrick, one of the guys from the label, said, hey dudes, would you guys be so kind as to check out this video for us, and I think you guys are gonna like it. I was like, alright, but you owe me a cider, or a beer, whatever, next time we're in Germany.
I feel like in Germany it's more beer.
I think if we're in Germany, you have to have a beer, and it has to be in one of those long boots.
No, it has to be in like those mugs.
Oh, those big ass mugs. Yes, yes, and then I have to like pour it like all over my beard, and then just shake it like a wet dog, and like beer and it goes everywhere.
Get sausages.
On my beard?
No, because it's like the Oktoberfest cut type of thing.
Oh, I was like, where is this going? It sounds like something sexual or something.
No.
Like, you know, my milkshake is better than yours, and then you show up with sausages. That's where I thought you were going with this. I was like, what do you take me for? I'm not into that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I'm a classy guy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I only drink one beer on the first date. You know what I mean? I try to.
You get hammered on the third.
Oh, by the third, it's all yours. Come and get it. You know. All right. Anyways, Humavoid, Aluminum Rain. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Let's check this out. was interesting. What did you think?
Can you go first on this one?
Why?
I have one thing I.
Okay, so spit it out.
Okay, there was the song itself was really good. I especially enjoyed the synthesizer parts.
I was like really like also the
and
piano.
the
real piano.
When the piano came in, I was not expecting that. I thought it was just gonna be like synthesizer throughout the whole song, but then they pulled out that grand piano, and I actually really liked that. It's just sometimes the female vocals, I just wasn't a big fan.
No?
No. Just sometimes. Sometimes they would come in.
Okay, what part? Like the more cleaner vocals, or the when she went harsher?
When she became more harsher, like before they became like in the chorus, they were good. But when they would build up to the chorus and they would become harsh, I wasn't a big fan.
No.
No.
Oh. What do you think about the male vocalist?
The male vocalist was really good though. I really liked his vocals, and I wish there was a little bit more of him.
Oh, you wanted a little bit more presence within the track.
Yeah, because he had a very deep.
Really deep, yeah.
Really deep voice.
Yeah, really deep voice. What about the guitar playing, the song structure, the sound? Really proggy.
Very, very proggy. And it was very, very different.
Bending in so many ways, but I felt like it had almost a jazzy kind of soundscape to it. And then when you add the piano, it kind of like the grand piano, then it really brings a little bit more of that jazz vibe to it.
The song was going in different directions, but somehow still kept centered.
I agree with you. I felt at the times, it almost felt like every time that I'm listening to it, and I feel like I'm getting pulled away from it, it finds a way to bring me kind of back in, and it stays centered again. So it bends in these different ways, but it never bends so much that it completely takes you off track.
Yeah.
It always finds its way to come back again. But like I said, I felt like the melody of the song kind of had a jazz vibe to it. And then when you add her clean vocal, there's a couple of elements that added to it. The melody of the song, to me, definitely was one. Her clean voice had a little bit of that cabaret jazz vibe to it. And also the grand piano. So those are three elements that, in my opinion, this is almost, I felt like I was listening to like a metal jazz track. I liked it. I like that. At times you almost feel like you could be having like a nice glass of wine, sitting like having a discussion with somebody, like in a cabaret, and this song could be playing in the background, and then it would get heavy, and you're like, okay, maybe not, and then it would go back into that more melodic, and you're like, wow, yeah, a nice glass of wine would really go well, and then it gets heavy again. So it's a really interesting track, but I really like that more.
It's like you're switching from wine to shots of vodka.
Yeah, and bar fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of has that kind of duality to it. I like that sound. I like that cabaret feel that it has, that jazz feel that it has. I really like that. And like I said, I thought that her clean vocals worked really well with it. Unlike you, I don't have an issue with the transition between the clean and the harsh. I was fine with it. The male harsh vocals, I really liked them. It was really deep. It added this nice yin and yang when they were using it. I almost wish, the only thing I would say is I almost wish that they would have gone with her just with the clean vocals, and the parts where she went with the harsh vocals, use him instead.
That's
is that what you're kind of like implying?
Yeah, because her clean vocals were good.
I like also her harsh vocals, but
that's why I didn't like so much of the harsh vocals.
But I almost rather her just stay with the clean vocals and use him instead, instead of having her have to transition from one into the other.
Then I wouldn't need him as much if he just did that part.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, so if that's what you're talking about, I'm okay with that. Because the transition between one and the... I like her harsh vocals. But if you have a guy with that voice, vocals, with their deeper voice, why not just use that? In my opinion, it would create even more of a gap, and it would allow her to shine, because her clean vocals are fit the melody and the way the track is constructed perfectly. I'm not saying the harsh vocals didn't, but to me... As much as I like them, I would because where are you going to put him more?
Yeah,
like there's no room for him to have more parts. You know what I mean? So the only way you do it is by removing her and putting him in those spots. If that's what you mean, then I agree with you. If that's the idea that you had, but the transition itself I thought was smooth, because it's not like she went. It's not like Ginger where she goes from like melodic to like brutal, like in a nanosecond. No, here there was kind of like there was a build up. She transitioned into it. But if you want to use him more, then perhaps that would have been the best way to do it. But I really like that jazz vibe, this track. Really jazzy vibe. I really like it. It has this, like I said, this cabaret feel to it. I I like that sound. It's a peaceful sound. It bends in your ears. It takes you into different places, and it's almost like a massage to your brain.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I listen to music like this. All right, guys, this is it for today. But come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you. See you guys.
See ya.